Shaman, that's what we're tracking as far as global markets go. But let's also talk about all of the individual cues that you should track as we get into a fresh trading session. Vivek, Vahishta and Mangalam all join me now to take us through the trade setup this morning and some of the individual stocks as well that could be in the news. Guys, a very good morning to all of you. And Vivek, let me come across to you first. We were just going through the global setup, which once again does not look supportive at all.
Well, absolutely right. In fact, most of the US markets gave up all of the early gains yesterday and closed closer to the day's low. In fact, the Nasdaq continues to trade at a fresh 2-year low, and this is something that is worrying market participants. When you're coming, closer home, especially when you're talking about the cues, crude prices on a positive note actually fell down quite significantly, and this is something that Indian market participants will take a little bit of heart from. When you're talking about some of the key factors to keep an eye out for, remember, you're talking about actually the data radar for today. You're talking about the CPI data that is due for the month, and you're also talking about IIP data. So IIP data, when you're talking about it for the month of August, is something that we are tracking at this point of time. You're also looking at Asian markets today that have opened up. Asian markets today have opened up on a very mixed note. In fact, when you're talking about the Japanese yen, it's again trading at a fresh low. This is something that market participants are tracking and expecting some action from the Bank of Japan. Also, when you're talking about some of the other Asian markets that have come back from multiple holidays that they've enjoyed, Asian markets today have shrugged off some of the worries that they've seen from the US markets as well as the Europe markets overnight, trading with slight positive gain. SGX Nifty, in fact, is indicating a positive start. Whole host of results today, so the IT pack will continue to remain in focus as far as the earnings season and Q2 is concerned.
Oh, absolutely. This entire week is going to be about IT. Vivek, thanks a lot for getting us all of those cues that we should track. Let me also bring in Vahishta. Now she's looking at all of the individual stocks that we should keep on our radar today. Vahishta?
Hi Pavitra, good morning. The first stock is L&T Finance Holdings, which has received an approval from SEBI for the sale of 100% shareholding in its subsidiary L&T Investment Management to HSBC Asset Management. The next stock is Suzlon Energy, which has received an order for the development of 145 megawatt wind power projects for the Aditya Birla Group. The next is Delta Corp. When they released their Q2 FY23 numbers on a consolidated basis, the revenues came in at 270 crores versus 75 crores in the same quarter of last year, and PAT has also come in positive at 68 crores versus a loss of 23 crores in the same quarter of last year. The company says that the business is now resilient and has bounced back even stronger and has surpassed the pre-COVID period numbers. The next is Genesis International, which has bagged an Andhra Pradesh government mapping project whose order value is at approximately 45 crores. For Gujarat Pipavav, a Q2 FY23 business update says that the container volume is up approximately 19% on a year-on-year basis, but is nearly flat on a sequential basis. Indian Railway Finance Corporation has signed a memorandum of understanding with India Infrastructure Finance Company to strengthen the cooperation with financing railway infrastructure projects. And for Infosys, the president Ravi Kumar has resigned. And in terms of result, we have HCL Tech and Wipro coming today.
All right, Vahishta, thanks a lot for taking us through that entire list of stocks that we should watch. Finally, let's also bring Mangalam in. Mangalam, we saw, a sharp sell-off in the last hour. So take us through all of the cues from the futures and options.
A 280-point sell-off is what we saw in the last hour from the highs on the Nifty itself. And if you just take a look at the data that came in, FIs are selling lock, stock and barrel, 4,600 crores in the cash market in yesterday's trading session. The DIs managed to buy just around 2,400 odd crores. In fact, this number is the highest that we've seen in this month, or highest all the way since September 26th. And in just the last 3 trading sessions, the FIs have sold over $1 billion, 9,000 crore rupees in the cash market. And why just the cash market? Even in index futures, the FIs have sold over 1,000 odd crores in yesterday's trading session, added net shorts of almost 11,000 contracts. That's unwinding 5,500 longs and adding 5,500 shorts as well, as a result of which their short exposure has increased to 85% and longs have dropped just to around 15 odd percent. The only participants which are long, net long in index futures are the retail investors, which are long by around 69%. And yesterday, over and above selling in cash and in index futures, they also went ahead and wrote 95,000 call contracts. Between 17,000 and 17,200, we've seen almost 1 crore shares in open interest written. So that means there are hurdles on the way up, despite the SGX Nifty indicating a bit of a bounce. But if there is a bounce, this is the place where it has to bounce from, because the 200-day moving average on the Nifty is at 16,986. And also at the same point, the India, put call ratio is at around 0.7. Usually the put call ratio, when it comes closer to 7, we do see a bit of a bounce. Let's see whether that bounce comes by or not, but currently all the factors are indicating weakness.
All right, let's see how the trading session pans out. For now, the SGX Nifty also, by the way, has moved down in the past couple of minutes. So it's currently just around 15 points in the green. Okay, it's moved back a little bit right now, but just around 30 points in the green is what we have on the SGX Nifty. And you can see that it has slipped significantly this morning. But that's what we're tracking as far as the market cues go. Guys, thanks a lot for joining us and taking us through the trade setup. With that, it's time for our first short break on the show. But when we return, IT